Have you ever heard about sexual relationships between spirits and humans? There are blogs about it. Watch this video till the end to discover more. Hi friends, it's Manu, your storyteller and ritualist. In this video, I'm going to explain some of the inspirations and insights related to my recent story based on a Bangladeshi folktale about the man who married a jinn. If you haven't seen it, the link is in the description. As some of you may know, I am retelling folk tales about intelligent terrestrial beings who predate human beings. These beings go by different names in different cultures and are known as jinn, fairies, kami, and so on. My project is to take these folk tales and turn them into short stories. Let me begin by telling you the story as it was told to me. My cousin had a friend who knows a guy who is married to a jinn woman. No one can see her, but late at night you can hear the tinkling of her anklets and her laughter coming from his room. That was it. That was the folktale. As a child, just that bit of information got my imagination going wild. I'd ask all kinds of questions, and bit by bit, I started to learn all the lore about these mysterious beings. In my version of the story, the young man encounters a pori, or female jinn, in a haunted patch of forest. Untouched patches of forest are a common sight all across South Asia. Among Hindu and tribal communities, these stretches of wilderness are considered to be sacred groves which are allowed to remain wild and unspoiled. No one is supposed to hunt or gather in them. The locals only ever venture in them to honor the spirits of the land by making votive offerings. I had seen a nature documentary about India, which explained that these sacred patches of forest have proven to be effective wildlife refuges. They have linked the presence of these unspoiled groves to the survival of many species of wildlife in populated regions like India. Without the sacred groves, much of the iconic wildlife of India wouldn't exist. Here we see that honoring the gods and spirits also means honoring and caring for nature. That's definitely food for thought. Next, we come to the amorous interaction between a human and a jinn. In many folk and fairy tales, we hear stories about humans falling in love with fairies, nymphs, and demigods, and vice versa. In the Muslim tradition, it is said that jinn can and do fall in love with humans. But according to the law, their coupling cannot produce offspring, and it harms the human, causing them to become weak and drained. That bit of knowledge got me thinking about the tales about succubi and incubi, demons from Christian lore which force humans into sex and steal their energy. There are blogs and websites out there which detail how to create a relationship with succubi. People are claiming that their relationships with succubi have brought them wealth, success, and ecstatic sex. Succubi are different from jinn and fairies. They aren't beings with a soul. They are the remnant energy and thought patterns of a once living being which need the life force of a living being to continue to exist. There is a lot I could say on this topic, but suffice to say that while a relationship with such beings may be very tempting, the cost is high. It is a parasitic relationship. They consume the life force of the human during the sexual exchange, draining their vitality over time. And once they've got you, they rarely ever want to let you go, so it can almost be seen as a form of possession. Basically, the human is a victim in this kind of relationship, so stay clear. Now let's get into the part of the story where the jinn wife tells the man that he's the only human who is allowed to lay eyes upon her. This is actually a recurring theme in many similar tales around the world regarding human men who develop relationships with mythical women. It particularly makes me think of the legend of Melusine, the famed siren who began one of the royal bloodlines of Europe and who inspired the Starbucks logo. It also brings to mind the Cambodian legend of the Jinn Queen who helped King Suryavarman II build the famous holy city of Angkor Wat. In both legends, the sovereigns are said to have received their fortune and influence thanks to the powers of their magical consorts. In both legends, the magical spouse has particular restrictions which must be obeyed. The Jinn wife of King Suryavarman II was never seen by anyone other than the king himself, and he was required to lay with her every night without fail. Because if he didn't, the Jinn Queen would revoke her blessings and the kingdom would fall apart. In the case of the legend of Melusine, she turned into her true siren form every Saturday, exposing her mythical mermaid form. The condition she gave her husband for marriage was that he would never see her on Saturdays. Eventually, his curiosity gets the best of him. He breaks his promise when he sneaks in on her, seeing her in her true non-human form. She then leaves, taking all of the good fortune she brought with her. I'd like to end by articulating the recurring theme of the hidden magical consort with the notion in many Eastern traditions regarding keeping our dreams, plans, and inspirations secret. The idea is that our goals and visions have a certain amount of creative energy behind them, waiting for the right time and conditions to manifest. When we talk about them and reveal them to others, we deflate the creative energy required to actualize them. This is why openly sharing our negative experiences, thoughts, and emotions is good, because by doing so, we deflate the energy behind them. However, with our plans and aspirations, it's good to keep things a mystery, safe and tucked away in our soul like a seed under the soil or an egg under our feathers, so that it has the time and energy to sprout and take root. Revealing them too soon or too often can compromise the energy required to manifest them into reality. Don't jinx a good thing. Honor the mystery behind it and let it flourish for you. Thanks for listening, friend. Stay tuned for more videos like this one.